that's a whole new level of existential horror.
They're dead. I'm sorry.
Cool. Hello, Internet. I'm Ren, and today I want to talk about the third Doctor Who 60th anniversary special, The Giggle, which features Catherine Tate as Donna, David Tennant as the Doctor, and Neil Patrick Harris as the Toymaker, as well as the first appearance of Ncuti Gatwa's 15th Doctor. The Giggle is a delightful ending for Tennant's Doctor and feels like both a return to form and the start of a brand new era at the same time, with a lot of moments that are hard to describe as anything other than beautiful. It's been wonderful having Russell T Davies back at the helm for these episodes, and I'm excited for the upcoming series with him as showrunner. So let's get into it. Spoilers for the Doctor Who 60th anniversary specials, particularly The Giggle, as well as Catherine Tate and David Tennant's original run on the show. The episode begins with a man entering a toy shop, where he's greeted by a fellow with a terrible fake German accent.
Guten Tag, kommen into the warm. It is raining, is it not?
We have everything you could be wanting.
But all he wants is a puppet called Stooky Bill.
Stooky Bill, meine Favoriten.
The Toymaker makes a racist comment.
You must be used to sunnier climes.
The man isn't having it, though.
I was born in Cheltenham. Your accent seems to have slipped.
And the Toymaker resumes his unconvincing charade.
I hope the kiddies enjoy him.
The man tells him the doll is for his employer.
It's my employer. You may have heard of him, he only lives around the corner.
John Logie Baird.
Mr. John Logie Baird.
Oh, the inventor man, wunderbar.
Inventor of the television.
What is he being inventing now?
It's a new thing, called television.
Well, what a game we are playing.
The Stooky Bill footage is actually a real thing, and it is genuinely creepy.
And it's a great day for me.
It's actually creepier than the footage in the episode.
I can scarcely believe your eyes. But will they?
Like in real life, Baird uses the doll head to record the first video footage because the lights are too hot for a human subject. In this version, we get a sinister giggle before cutting to the theme song.
That wee chap's about to change the world. Imagine what he would say.
Apparently, Davies originally stumbled on the Stooky Bill footage doing research for another project that featured Baird, and upon watching it, immediately thought Stooky felt like a Doctor Who villain. But then he realized a puppet master is a lot scarier than a puppet. We shift back to Donna and the Doctor in London in the present day, where everything is looking a smidge apocalyptic. The Doctor tries to keep a man from getting hit by a car.
You'll get yourself killed. It's my life, not yours. You can just stand over there and be safe.
But he's very insistent he knows what he's doing.
Which means I paid for this road. It is mine.
And tells us this all started 2 days ago,
Everyone started thinking they're right all the time.
when everyone began to think they're always right.
Well, not me. I've always been right.
Except for him, of course. A weird little lad tries to dance with the Doctor in the street, but he's busy. And Unit comes to the rescue. They've got little armbands that keep them from acting like everyone else. Donna makes sure Wilf is taken to safety.
Get him to safety! All right, never mind about us. I want my granddad safe, all right?
It is a stand-in Bernard Cribbin's wheelchair.
You go with the Doctor.
Unfortunately, we don't get to see any more of him because his health wouldn't allow him to return to film more scenes. But I'm still so glad we got to see him one more time. Donna and the Doctor are taken to Unit headquarters, which is in this discount Avengers tower. Shirley comes out to meet them.
Johnny, you can't be serious.
Nice. Kate Lethbridge-Stewart also greets them.
I fought them all. Insects and yetis and clones, but what do we do this time, Doctor? How do we fight the human race?
They go inside, and the Doctor comes face to face with Melanie Bush,
Oh, no way.
Oh, that is the best news, Melanie. Hello.
a companion of the 6th and 7th Doctors. It's lovely to see her. Shirley gives us a status update.
An increase in violence worldwide, the same increase in every country, and all rising at exactly the same rates.
Everyone, everywhere, is totally irrational and convinced they're always right.
Basically, every single human being thinks they're right and won't be told otherwise.
This bit with the pilot is terrifying.
The pilot declared his right to land wherever he wants.
I'm coming home! The captain is getting coming home!
Basically my worst nightmare. But this part did make me laugh out loud.
But if everyone's going mad...
So is the government.
What do I care? I mean, seriously, what should I care about you?
Yep, that's about right. Then we're introduced to the Vlinks,
We call it the Z-Dex.
An invention of the Vlinks.
Hello, the Flinks.
who invented the Z-Dex, the armband that keeps people acting normal.
Straps the brain, flattens the spike, keeps everything calm.
Kate takes off her Z-Dex to demonstrate, and immediately turns into an aggressive libertarian.
Busy day?
Why do you want to know?
Is that a problem?
It's an invasion of my privacy. In fact, it's an assault on my civic right.
Then she goes after poor Shirley.
And as for her, in that chair, I've seen you walk. I've seen you walking. Don't deny it!
Just a side note, because I did see comments about it on social media, ambulatory wheelchair users do exist. It's a common misconception that all wheelchair users have absolutely no use of their legs, but there are many conditions that may benefit from the use of a wheelchair, including chronic pain and fatigue conditions, so just something to keep in mind. Anyways, they wrestle the Z-Dex back onto Kate, and she immediately apologizes as she returns to her right mind.
Shirley, I'm so sorry.
Absolutely no need.
They realize that Donna, Mel, and Wilf were all fine.
It's not just me. It keeps spiking inside every single person.
Not me. Not Grandad.
No me.
And surmise that people who travel regularly in the TARDIS are immune to whatever is happening.
Maybe long-term travel in the TARDIS puts you out of sync.
They also explain why providing a Z-Dex to everyone in the population isn't an option with this clip.
They are using this to control us, and monitor us, and microwave our brains.
Believable anti-vaxxer energy for sure. Apparently, it all started with the launch of a South Korean satellite, which caused everyone to have wireless access. It's a bit of a stretch, as there are tons of remote places where people definitely still don't have devices. But most of the world is wired, so we'll let it slide.
What if it's a tune?
What?
Donna figures out that the sound is actually an arpeggio.
Maybe it's music.
A classic arpeggio.
Which is familiar to everyone.
La 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 la.
But they don't know why.
Sing that again.
La 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 la.
Another tune.
Until Shirley finds it in the Stooky Bill footage.
I found the exact same notes.
Oh, it's not a tune. It's a laugh.
But she insists they would have found it if it was on all their screens.
It's the very first image. Has been hiding in every screen ever since.
Hiding how? If there were secret pictures inside every television, we would have found it.
Which sets the Doctor off a bit.
Oh, what, because you're so clever? Maybe Stooky Bill's a lot smarter than you.
He demonstrates the laugh hiding in their screens. And then goes on a rant.
But it's not only the giggle. The human race might be clever and bright and brilliant. It's also savage and venal and relentless.
And he's not wrong.
All the anger out there on the street, the lies, the righteousness, that's human, that's you, that's who you are.
But it's a bit harsh. He gives them permission to destroy the satellite.
We can pick off a pebble on the moon. Trouble is, taking out a South Korean satellite will have international consequences, so we've been waiting for permission.
You have my permission.
Which is a little funny. Like, sure, South Korea will totally understand that the two-hearted alien said it was okay to shoot it down. We get another sweet exchange with the Doctor and Melanie.
Hello.
Hi.
And she tells him how she ended up back on Earth.
Well, quick version. I travelled the stars. Good old Sablon Blitz. He lived till he was 101.
What?
Died falling over a whiskey bottle, and I thought, time to go home.
She has no family to return to, though, so she's alone.
But then I had to face up to the one thing I'd been running away from. I got nothing. My family are all gone.
But happily working for UNIT.
But then Kate offered me a job, and here I am.
Meanwhile, Kate offers Donna a job.
That was very good work with the music. Oh, if we survive this, you should think about joining UNIT.
And she negotiates a bit.
How much per year?
60,000.
120 plus 5 weeks holiday.
Done.
Good for her. Shirley tells the Doctor when Stooky Bill was first aired.
Stooky Bill was televised the 2nd of October 1925 at 22 Frith Street, Soho.
And he and Donna go back in time to investigate. When they're alone, Donna asks him why he never mentioned Mel.
In all this time, you've never mentioned her.
Or anyone else. She tries to talk a little sense into him.
I got a glimpse inside your mind. You're staggering along.
And he changes the subject. Because of course he does.
Stooky Bill might be on Frith Street, but the question is, where did Stooky Bill come from?
They see the toy shop and head inside and encounter the weirdest little guy.
The ball is the first game ever being invented.
The Doctor tries to send Donna back to the TARDIS.
How do you two know each other?
Donna, go back to the TARDIS. Go back to the TARDIS.
Because he recognizes him as the Toymaker.
Who is he?
The Toymaker.
They follow him into some kind of wacky labyrinth governed by the rules of play. Donna asks about him.
Who is the Toymaker?
And the Doctor explains how he first met and beat the Toymaker.
When I was young, I let the TARDIS fall into another realm where science is a game and all of us are toys. I beat the Toymaker, I won his game.
And that the Toymaker likely returned because of the salt at the edge of the universe.
But now he's here. And I think it's all because of me. Because I got clever, didn't I? I cast that salt at the edge of the universe.
Man, I sure hope we get to see a TARDIS cult too. I just want it. The Doctor is going through it.
I'm all Sonic and TARDIS and Time Lord. Take that away. Take away the toys. What am I?
And we're 3 for 3 for Donna's life being imperiled in these specials.
I don't know if I can save your life this time.
Maybe I'll save you.
I do love this bit about the dice, though.
You beat him before?
Odds on I'll lose next.
No, doesn't work like that. Because my dad used to say, dice don't know what the dice did last time.
It's always so sweet when Donna reminisces about her dad. But of course, they get separated, which also just keeps happening in these specials. The Doctor hears someone calling for help.
Please help me.
And finds Baird's assistant, who's been turned into a creepy-ass puppet. And we get a yikes-inducing puppet version of the Doctor as well.
I thought I was clever.
Meanwhile, Donna encounters the remaining Stooky family. I normally find living puppets quite terrifying.
They took my Bill away. I'm on him every day.
But Donna makes such quick work of Stooky Sue.
Hello, Stooky. My name's Donna. Now I think that you're a goner.
And intimidates the babbies so easily, it's just not scary. She reunites with the Doctor, and then we get one of my favorite scenes, where the Toymaker does a little puppet show of the various fates of the Doctor's recent companions.
He met eine friend called Amy Pont.
He tells us about Amy.
What? Amy Pont was touched by the weeping angel, and she died.
And the Doctor has an excuse.
She died of old age.
And the Toymaker's response is perfect.
Well, that's all right then.
Then he tells us about Clara.
And then he was meeting Clara.
Killed by a bird made me snicker for sure.
But she was killed by a bird.
The Doctor has another excuse.
She still survives in her last second of life.
And the Toymaker's on top of it.
Well, that's all right then.
And then he tells us about Bill.
But then the Doctor met Bill. But she was killed by the Cybermen.
Another excuse.
Her consciousness survived.
Another response.
Oh, well, that's all right then.
He starts talking about the flux.
The poor Doctor. The flux was killing everything.
And Donna asks,
is all of this true?
And the Doctor challenges the Toymaker to a game.
I challenge you to a game.
And it's not to avoid talking about his past. We should have just called this episode The Doctor Goes to Extreme Lengths to Avoid Talking About His Feelings, but I guess it is a bit of a mouthful. Anywho, we get two interesting tidbits here. First, that the Master is trapped in the Toymaker's gold tooth.
The Master was dying and begged for his life with one final game, and when he lost, I sealed him for all eternity inside my gold tooth.
And that there is a being the Toymaker wouldn't even play with.
There's only one player I didn't dare face.
The one who waits.
That's someone else's game.
Probably not Amy or Rory by the sinister sound of it. They play a game of cards.
You choose. I'll go first.
But he'll cheat.
No, she. That's the one thing he won't do.
And the Doctor assures Donna the Toymaker won't cheat because the rules of play bind his existence.
But they're his cards. It's all tricks. Of course he'll cheat.
The only rules the Toymaker follows are the rules of the game.
They cut, the Doctor loses. But he says best of 3.
I won the game many years ago. You won today, which leaves us equal. And you know, 2 players are bound by one inviolable rule.
The Toymaker agrees.
Best of 3.
The domain collapses, and they make a run for it and return to 2023. Unit blasts down the satellite just as they get back. The Toymaker shows up for a little dance party, while soldiers try in vain to stop him. This scene is a lot of fun.
What happened to them? They're dead. I'm sorry.
And also a bit horrifying. He vanishes and takes possession of the big old blaster. We find out he killed all the personnel manning it.
And the armourer and the ground staff, where are they?
I think they're still falling.
The Doctor tries to reason with him.
You can turn bullets into flowers! Think of the good you could do. So tell me why you don't!
But he's not impressed.
Because you're good and you're bad are nothing to me.
Then he asks the Toymaker to come and travel in the TARDIS with him.
We can take your games back to the start. We can be celestial.
It's very cheesy.
The Time Lord and the Toymaker.
Infinite games.
But the Toymaker isn't interested.
And yet, I have fallen in love with humanity.
He's having too much fun.
All of the sport, the matches, the medals, the gambling, and the anger.
Playing with humanity.
You make games out of bricks falling upon other bricks. You are exceptional.
He toys with the soldiers a little bit. The Doctor draws his attention back to him.
Your fight is with me!
And he blasts him right in the chest with the beam.
I play the third game with the next Doctor.
Donna and Mel are at his side as he regenerates, but something unusual happens. He asks them to pull.
Pull. Just pull each way. I don't know. Feels different this time.
And out comes Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor.
I think I'm really, really me. I am completely me.
The 15th Doctor explains that they've bi-generated.
I have bi-generated. There's no such thing.
Which apparently used to be a myth.
Yeah, myth. Mel, what do you think?
But was also affected by the salt.
I think you're beautiful.
Still beautiful.
Yeah. They challenge the Toymaker to a game and he has to accept.
I challenge you to a game.
They play a high-stakes game of catch. 15 gets a little too into it.
Hey! I'm on your side! I'm so sorry.
Also, I love his mannerism of clucking his tongue in disapproval. It's so good. I did find the final game of catch to be a smidge anticlimactic. but the episode ultimately had enough other stuff going for it that it doesn't bug me too much. The Toymaker loses, and they confine him to his little box. 15 gives 14 a comforting hug and a little kiss on the forehead. This moment is just so tender. They head off, and a mysterious hand picks up the Toymaker's gold tooth, which has been left behind, so we'll probably be seeing the Master again soon. Back in the TARDIS, 14 and 15 try to figure out logistics.
But, how's it gonna work? You and me?
15 gives 14 a talking to.
You're thin as a pin, love. You've been running on fumes. That doctor that first met the Toymaker never, ever stopped.
And reminds him of everything he's been through and lost.
Put on trial, exiled, key to time, all the devastation of Legopolis, Adric, Riversong. Sarah Jane has gone. I'm fine because you fixed yourself. We're Time Lords. We're doing rehab out of order.
And Donna tells him he needs to stop.
You're saying you need to stop?
I don't know how. Well, I can tell you.
And that this face must have returned so he could come home.
You changed your face, and then you found me. Do you know why? To come home.
And of course I cried, like the perpetually leaky little guy I am. 14 says he could never give up the TARDIS.
Well, I could never let the TARDIS go. Never. It would hurt.
But a thought occurs to 15.
What if? What if?
And he uses a mallet to claim his prize.
We won the game. You got a prize, honey.
And knock another TARDIS into being. Also, now the TARDIS has a fold-out ramp and a jukebox, so those are some exciting improvements.
He actually told me about a fan who'd contacted him, who was a wheelchair user, and said how much he admired Russell's work. He said, even though I can't get in the TARDIS because it's not wheelchair accessible, I just love it. And Russell was like, so we changed that instantly. We changed that.
14 and Donna say goodbye to 15, and he lovingly ushers them out of his TARDIS.
Okay, kid. I love you. Get out.
And off he goes. I'm so stoked for the Christmas special because it really feels like Ncuti Gatwa was born to play the Doctor, and I can't wait to see him in action in his own episode. Then we cut to 14, sometime later having dinner with the nobles, telling funny stories.
This species only communicated with their eye. So I'm stood there on this cliff top. I went, I'm in your heart. I come in peace.
Mel joins them. No, they both have a family. And this heartwarming ending for this version of the Doctor is something I didn't even know I needed. But I'm honestly so grateful for it. After watching him go through so much, including everything we saw 11, 12, and 13 endure, seeing him happy and contented and able to rest was really, really moving.
Do you miss it out there?
The thing is, I fought all those battles for all those years. And now I know what for. This, I've never been so happy in my life.
It's a wonderful bridge into a new era of Who with 15, and the last shot of the episode is of 15 flying off in the TARDIS. And now we wait for the Christmas special. Overall, I adored this episode. Neil Patrick Harris is so much fun as the Toymaker. Casting him was a great choice. He apparently didn't know anything about Doctor Who when he was cast, but he does an incredible job. He and Tennant play off of each other so well. His terrible German accent that made no sense made me laugh.
Behold, we have everything you could be want.
And some of his scenes were genuinely creepy. He's a delight to watch every moment he's on screen. I'll admit, I thought that how the Toymaker drives everyone mad felt a bit silly and contrived, but it's one of those things I can forgive in an otherwise great episode. And it was kind of funny that everyone basically turned into QAnon libertarians. My favorite scene with the Toymaker was definitely when he put the Doctor on the spot about the fates of some of his past companions. It was just so effective. I also really liked the choice to update the Toymaker and acknowledge the racial stereotypes in the original incarnation of the character by showing the Toymaker's bigotry and stereotyping to be a part of his evil, with his accents and racist commentary. In an interview, Davies acknowledged the problematic elements of the Toymaker and his choice to incorporate those while updating him, and said, I think you have to do it, because I can absolutely guarantee you, on transmission, people will pipe up saying, in 1966, this was a racist character. And if we haven't acknowledged that in some way, we look ignorant. I'm very, very aware of it, and it's baked into him. I really liked another of his sentiments during the same interview when discussing Davros, another Who villain with problematic characterization as an evil wheelchair user with facial scarring. I'm not blaming people in the past at all, but the world changes, and when the world changes, Doctor Who has to change as well. So we made the choice to bring back Davros without the facial scarring and without the wheelchair. I think that was a really great creative choice, and I think it's important to acknowledge the need for a show like Doctor Who, which spans literal decades, to change with the times. If it's going to be enjoyed by a modern audience, it needs to be watchable for a modern audience. I loved the way these 3 specials dealt with the Doctor's avoidant way of handling all of the trauma, guilt, and loss he's endured over the course of his long life. The bi-generation was such a fun way for the writers to have their cake and eat it too. I know it's silly, but the fact that it allowed him to come home to Donna and have a family is just such a sweet ending for him, and I love it a lot. It's also apparently an idea Davies has been kicking around for a while.
Actually, I've had this idea for years. I've always wanted, instead of going back and meeting old Doctors, I've always wanted the Doctor to talk to his new version. Why has it never been done before? How can you resist the 2 of them having an adventure at the same time?
The continued existence of 14 may also hold promise for more appearances or even a spin-off, and I admit I'm not sure how I feel about that, because I really don't want it to take the wind out of 15's sails. But on the other hand, in his scenes with Tennant, Gatwa held his own quite impressively, so maybe I'm worrying about nothing. I think the second special was still my favorite as a standalone episode, but this one is a close second. And the ending just made me so happy. It was a beautiful culmination to this little 3-story arc and gave us closure on a story that definitely deserved to be revisited. I loved seeing Donna regain her memories, and working for UNIT seems like a great fit for her. I can't say I'd mind if we see more of Donna once in a while. I'd also like to see more of Rose. She's such a compelling character. I know a lot of people wanted something grander from these specials, like the Day of the Doctor or the Power of the Doctor or something, but I just can't relate. My least favorite thing about Doctor Who is the epic and ever-expanding mythos around the Doctor. Like, it's fine, it has its moments, but I think Who is at its best when it's episodic, when it celebrates the ordinary juxtaposed with the bizarre. I like the standalone episodes best because they tend to be complete stories less focused on how cool and powerful the Doctor is, and more focused on watching the Doctor and the companions explore the world around them. And don't get me wrong, I love a big moralizing speech as much as the next guy. I am a Star Trek fan too, after all. I'm just much less interested when it's about how important the Doctor is. It seems like some folks were hoping for another big lore dump, but I think these specials hit the perfect blend of action, sentimentality, creep factor, and progressing the character of the Doctor forward in an emotionally satisfying way. To me, their scope and scale was perfect, and I loved the big emotional moments and payoff on the little mini arc we got with 14. I consistently watched Doctor Who from 9 all the way through to 11's regeneration before falling off a bit with 12, only catching up on 12 and 13 recently. Doctor Who has certainly always been a bit of a mixed bag in terms of quality, especially with Moffat and Chibnall's eras. But these specials, the return of Russell T Davies as showrunner, and Ncuti Gatwa's effervescent performance as the 15th Doctor, have reignited my love for Doctor Who, and now I cannot wait for Christmas. But that's just my opinion. What did you think about this episode? How do you feel about the bi-generation? What was your favorite of these 3 specials? Let me know in the comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe for more videos. See you next time. Wiedersehen.